You're watching Stormforce Games, streaming 5 days a week, exclusively on Twitch. Next on Stormforce Games, it's Farming Simulator 22. Stormforce Games starts right now. Good afternoon, or good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. It's 11:29 a.m. Eastern Time, where I am. It's the 7th of July, 2022. Good morning and welcome to the show, everyone. I'm TV Guy J. That never works anymore. Wow. All right, so we're starting a half hour late today. I can't even speak. My voice is toast. We're starting a half hour late today because I had some things I had to get done at work. But we're here, and when I got on to Farming Sim 22 this morning to get it prepped for stream, I noticed that there is another update to the Goldcrest Valley map. So we know what happened last time we updated Goldcrest Valley, and as a matter of fact, we're still fixing that problem. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to, what I've already done is I've already saved a copy of the Goldcrest Valley map. So if for some reason things go bad, we can dump the update and go back. You know, I mean, ultimately we would have to update anyway at some point because obviously they're fixing problems in the map. But we just spent like 2 or 3 days going back through this map and fixing it because it corrupted our save file. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to find out. So let's jump in to the game right now, and we'll go to the download center and update Goldcrest Valley. Now, again, I've already saved a backup of this. It does not make any, like, these are all, the same updates as last time. So I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know why this is saying this is an update, because the last one was 1.1, I thought. I could have sworn. Matter of fact, I can probably verify that just by looking at the files here. If I extract this, there's probably like a mod description file in here that I can read. Yeah, this says 1.1.0.0, and it's the exact same It's the exact same, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Even a minor update, I feel like it should have had some kind of a something. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out what happens. Obviously, if we update this map, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to go back in and delete the cell tower again from Giants Editor, and I'm also going to have to delete those sound files, those annoying sound files. It is currently downloading right now, and I'll just take a peek here through the rest of the categories here. There is one more. Palette auto load specialization, which means that I'll probably need to update my keybinds again, because it'll probably wipe those out. All right. We'll close the game, we'll relaunch it, and we'll see what happens. Oh, of course. I have to wait like a minute, 60 seconds for Steam Cloud to update. Drappler, how you doing? Good morning. Welcome. So we're going to see what happens here. Either the map is going to load or it's not going to load. And if it doesn't load, then we'll know that it corrupted the save file again. We'll just roll it back. If it does load, then we will put the map through Giants Editor, do the edits that I need to do, which only take a minute, and then we'll start to play again. So fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. Let's load the new Goldcrest here. So it's loading up, and when it gets to 100%, I'm going to hit enter. And it will either stay on a black screen, or it will, or it'll load. Now, again, I don't know what this update contains. This says that it's the same file, or the same version anyway. So I don't know. All right, it did load. Everything seems to be where I left it. The cell tower is back, so let's let me check the keybinds real quick just to see if those got messed up from the auto load. Nope, those are good. Maybe they fixed that problem. I hope they did. All right, so we'll save the game. We'll quit the game. Now let's go into Giants Editor and just quickly do those modifications to the map. This shouldn't take too long. Now that I know what I'm doing and how to oh, actually, what I need to do first is I need to pull out the actual folder and decompress it here. So let's go in and get that folder. Farm Sim 22 mods Goldcrest Valley, and I'm gonna rename this new. And copy, paste. Okay, so we'll call this one Goldcrest Valley Old. Put that down here. Excuse me. And then we will take that off just to retain the proper file name. We'll extract this to a regular folder. There it is. And then we can go into Giants Editor here. And Giants Editor is a really fun program if you know how to use it. I use this to do significant editing on the Great Plains map on FS19. So we want to open up, we'll do the Sounds i3D file first. And we'll open up over here our assets. We'll open these up once we're able to. And we're going to delete the sirens folder. And I want to expand all of these. That way it makes it easier for me to find the church bells. Okay, so we'll take those out and we'll take the siren out and save. And then we can come in and open the map, i3D file. And once that loads and opens, here's our map, our farm. And if you notice, this is right around here is where the farmhouse would be. This would be the yard. There'd be a shed over here, a shed here. I put the greenhouse here. But because those are all placeables in the game, they don't show up here on this. The only thing that shows up here is the things that are entered in the editor, part of the map, not things that you can actually go into the game and remove. But in here, now all I have to do is just fly over to this and delete the equipment shed and the tower. Boom, done. Easy peasy. If I wanted to, I could go and I could even delete the trees. But the problem is, if I deleted the trees, then, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. It would be a permanent change. Let's put it that way. Would it be quicker and easier to do it that way? Yes. But then I wouldn't make the money from harvesting those logs. So I'm just going to leave it be. Just do the basic edits that I need and be done with it. You can see it's kind of interesting to look at this and see, like, you can see the bare area where they put the house and the little pavement sections here for the sidewalks. But more importantly, you can see the little divot that they dug in the ground here to put the there's a little ramp on the back side of the house to go underneath into like a basement, and you can see how they dug this out to add that. I think that's pretty cool. So anyway, we're all done here. We're gonna save the map, and now theoretically all I should need to do is rezip this folder. We're going to create an archive out of this, a zip file. It's going to be called Goldcrest Valley. So we're going to take this out and move this back. And we're actually going to copy that file and put it right into our games folder. Now, what I'm hoping, and I'm not sure about this yet, but what I'm hoping is that it doesn't reset all my trees. Let's find out. We will see. Because if it resets all the trees, then what I'll do is I'll just go into Giants Editor and delete them. Because that's going to be way too much work. I'm hoping that the game save file will retain that information. I just want to look at one thing, though. See, now it's saying that Goldcrest Valley has an update again. I'm wondering if it wasn't really an update. I'm wondering if it senses the file has changed, and now it's like, oh, well, there's an update, blah, blah, blah. Which kind of sucks, because it shouldn't be doing that. It's still the same file. It's still the same version number. So I don't know why it's sensing an update, unless it's because the hash has changed. So either way, I probably didn't have to do that. I'm wondering now why I'm seeing that update, because I haven't seen that before. I always check this before I play, just for any random updates. So I'm wondering why now that has is flagged in update. Anyway, whatever. We'll load Goldcrest Valley here. I'm still a little bummed that that it's flagging as an update when there's no update available. But maybe I just did all that work for nothing. It seems like maybe I did. But anyway, we'll load in. We'll see if the trees are still there. Or still gone, rather. And if they are, then awesome. Yeah, they're gone. Perfect. So the cell tower's gone, as you can see, and we don't hear any of those annoying noises. I was playing on this map last night, and I bought something interesting. I want to show you guys. Mainly just to kind of play around with. I don't expect to really have a use for this thing. I just wanted to see it because I've heard so much about it. It is this thing. It is... This thing is absolutely crazy. It's taking me forever to zoom into the thing, but look at this thing. This is the Liebherr 12,100 crane or something. I forget what the exact model number is, but look at this thing. I mean, this thing is absolutely nuts. And I was just, look at all the attachments on it, like up in the, where it's the little tractor icon and all the little things attached to it. Everything is an attachment on this crane, okay? The pads, the large rectangular black pads down at the bottom, and the square foot pads are also separately attachable. The weight blocks up here are individually attachable, plus the plate is individually attachable. This hook over here is individually attachable. I haven't figured out how to make the hook actually work yet. And then this long boom is actually attachable too, and there's another boom back there that I have on standby. But look at the size of this thing, okay? Absolutely crazy. There's flashing lights all over it. I mean, it's truly amazing. And you can move just about every piece of this thing. You know, you can move the boom. It's really incredible. So we're going to fold this thing up and just set it aside. I'll probably just sell it. There's really not a good tutorial on how to use this thing. I've just been kind of playing around with it. I've figured out most everything except for how to actually make the hook work. So until I can figure out how to make the hook work, and apparently there's an accessory pack that's still in development for this thing with like lots of lattice work, tower sections and everything to extend the length of the crane. But until I can figure out how to make this thing work properly, we won't be using it for anything other than showing off. But I just wanted to play with it to see what it was all about. Because I've heard so much about it, and it was cool to actually see it in game and how massive this thing is. Each of the 4 outriggers are individually controllable, so you can level it just how you want. It's really impressive. I'm really impressed by it. Whoever put this thing into the game really, like, took some effort and time to make it very detailed. Very, very detailed. So we're just going to pack this thing up, and then we'll probably just park it somewhere. All right. There's a lot of momentum physics in this crane too. So like when you're rotating and you let go of the stick, it still continues to rotate for a few seconds. I mean, the size of this thing is just incredible. All right, the crane is down. Now, as far as the foot pads here, not sure which one dropped, but we're gonna go find out. Doesn't look like it was that one. Not that one either. Object too heavy. What? But super strength is on. Why am I... That's very strange. Let's drive forward and see which one gets left behind. None of them? Wait a minute. That's not right. Whoops. I want to say that was one of the rear ones. Yeah, so we'll take this pad out. And that was this one here. That was the rear one on this side. And that was the front one here. That one there. Oops. So you have to get out and remove each of these first, otherwise they'll reattach. That's where it's nice to have a helper. Oops, alright. Well, we'll leave that one there. Perfect. Alright. Now I can switch my control group to the front outriggers. And we can start pulling these outriggers in. So you can see the front right one, or in this case the front left one, is retracting. That other front one is retracting, and now we can rotate them in. Again, they're individually controllable. And these will actually lift the whole machine up off the ground and elevate it, which I think is really cool. All right, switch the rear outriggers. We'll pull this one in. And this one. Whoops, didn't want to change the control group there. We'll rotate this one in. While we're doing that, we'll also fold the control booth in as well. Oh, it went right through the... Interesting. Went right through the weight plates, which I should have probably taken off first, but... Either way. All right. That one's all done, and now we can just drive this thing out of here. Normally we would take the weight plates off and all of that, but... Oh, steering is just absolutely hosed right now. And I accidentally hit the restore default settings on this, so I have a feeling my steering is going to be kind of whacked. Nope, it looks like it's all right. You can see that nearly every axle on this machine steers, which which actually makes it fairly easy to maneuver. I mean, it will turn a pretty tight circle, given its size. All right. So we'll just sell off this entire thing here. We'll sell off the truck, both of the different types of booms, the foot pads, which there are 4 of. The weight plates, these are 10-ton ballast plates. I had 8 of them. The 3-sheave hook. The ballast plate. The foot pads. Alright, that should be everything. Very nice. Alright, now we can actually get to work. Now that I'm done screwing around, we can actually get to work here. So what I'm going to do... Last thing we have to do right now is to take care of the trees on this field here. And then I think we'll be back to where we were. So I'm just going to cut these small ones with a chainsaw because we know that they're kind of bugged. So that was the Liebherr crane. There's another one, a smaller one that I haven't downloaded, but I'm going to go looking for. It's still a large crane by crane standards, but I think less complicated than that big one. I'd like to see that big one get a little bit of love. I know that they're still working on converting it, but I'd like to see like a full tutorial on how to use it. Because there's no instructions with it. It's fairly complicated. There's a lot of different control groups and a lot of different control functions. So I can get it set up, but actually using it is a whole other story. You know, when I grab the thing, I actually want you to pick it up. There we go. Putting all the trees out in the road so I can see them. Go. There are a lot of small trees here. Honestly, I would have liked to have just deleted them in the editor, but I really want to be able to claim that income from harvesting them. And I looked last night, and I actually made a realization that I made a lot more money in harvesting wood and grass than I thought I did, to the tune of over $100,000, I think. And it will certainly be more than 100,000 if you include all these as well. So we're going to take a good look at that once we're done with this, and once we're ready to give the fix-it money back and reset our bank account. But I suspect we're going to see a significant bank account balance once we're done, which I'm fairly happy with, because there's definitely some things that I want to do, including beehives. Oh, the beehives. I actually forgot about the beehives. I actually had 2 beehives and a honey drop location, so I'll need to remember to do that too. I'm glad I was talking to myself here. So we'll redo the beehives, but I want to build a second greenhouse, and I'm gonna have to start thinking about buying production points here at some point in the future, to get particularly the bakery, to get a purchaser for my strawberries. I probably don't have to worry about that so much right off, but I definitely want to have, I also want to have like a grain mill, so that I can send wheat and stuff like that. So the grain mill might actually be the first thing that I purchase, because I think the strawberries, even if they can't go to the bakery, can go to like the farmer's market or whatever. This tree is like absolutely wigging out. It won't let me grab it. It's like it's stuck in the ground. There we go. So we're putting all these logs out into the road so I can see where they are. It'll be easier for me to pick them up. This tree doesn't know how it wants to fall. There we go. It's like, I know there's a way to get rid of that. So many trees. Oh. Whoa, that tree just got flung, and it's seizing again. What is up with the trees here? Alright, I actually can't grab this tree. This tree is somehow stuck. It's like it embedded itself in the ground. Trying to move it as best I can, but it seems to only be getting more stuck. There we go. I don't get what's going on there. I don't really know. Alright, that's a big tree. We'll cut that with the scorpion. Looks like just a handful more here. Let me just take a quick scope over here. It looks like we got one big gnarly tree, 3 more small ones, and I think there was a big gnarly one over there too somewhere, if I remember correctly. So we'll get these smalls cut down. And of course, we're gonna need the truck. That one's cut. I really, really despise that. that stump really high for some reason. But at least I'll be able to see it. Alright, so the small trees are done, at least on this side. We'll cut down this big bitch here. Alright, what's the noise? Try to cut as many limbs off of this as we can. Alright, what the fuck? Get out of my way. God damn. Alright, so that's all chopped now. So we'll grab, I guess we'll grab the truck first and just start picking up the small logs. Get all the small logs out of the way, then I'll haul that big gnarly tree, and then we'll cut down the remaining large trees. The remaining large trees will be less of a problem for me once all the other debris is gone. Also, I went through last night and I took out all of the bushes. I am just really bad at driving, apparently. Alright. Go. There's that. All right. That one's in there. Leaving them out in the road is so much nicer because you can actually see that you have all of them. You're not missing any. You don't have to go far for them. because they're all small and mostly straight, they load pretty easily too. Might actually be able to load might even be able to load the tall trees on here as well, since I didn't have as many small logs. And we'll take that gangly one after. Why is this not lifting? No. What the fuck? Nope, that is not at all what I wanted to do. Why won't it let me select this tree? Okay, fuck you too. Let's try to throw the gangly ones in here. Oh, I actually have a tree sticking right through the cab of my truck. How about that? Might as well try to grab this one since they're right here and the truck's not all that full. Throw what we can on here and see if it'll work. Stop sign. This is where we get messy, folks. This is where we get messy. This is apparently a very small piece of wood that somehow came off the truck and will not go back on the truck. See the goddamn thing. Alright, last one. We'll get in and we'll strap these all down. Off we go to the sawmill. Then we'll come back, we'll cut down the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tall trees, I guess. And there might be a few other trees that I want to get rid of. The ones back there along the back property line of those fields. We'll have to see. I have field work to do too. Now that it's September, I actually want to start did my truck just... Oh man, I have all kinds of issues with this load. Everything's falling off the truck. I have field work to do. I need to start drilling wheat now that we're in September. Yeah, that's gonna be tricky. Boy, this truck is like 2 or 3 times wider than than it actually should be. As long as we can keep it right down the middle, since we have traffic turned off, shouldn't run into any problems. I'm just worried about it getting hung up on the railroad overpass here. We'll see. Train coming. Didn't get stuck on anything. Now if I can just turn properly and not clip the building. There we go. I wonder how much I'll get for this load of wood here. $9,400 with no bonus. That's alright. We'll go back and get the rest of those tall trees cut down and any other small ones that we can find that are worth taking. And I want to start doing the field work too. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to have this truck drive itself back to where I need it to be, which will be basically right here. And then we can start doing field work. And for the field work, I'm actually going to use this tractor because I don't want to use it for anything else. So we'll drop that there. Now, field work. I have to get my drill, and I also have to rebuild my seed silo, because I have to be able to fill it. That is my cultivator right there. My seed drill is up there, ready to start on that large field. I don't believe it's full. I believe I'll have to fill it, which means I'll need to buy and place that that seed silo I was talking about. So we'll connect up to this. It is indeed not full, so we'll take it down. Open the cover. And I'm gonna have to move these weights. All right, seed silos. Let's see. That's going to be under construction. Silo or containers, I guess. Could be this one here. And I want to rotate it. We'll have it right there. And just want to fix the grass around it here. Oh, apparently it doesn't like that edge. Okay. We need to fill it as well. So, refill with seeds. Boom. Boom. Refilled. So now we can go fill. Done. All these tractor weights laying around. All right. All right, we've got ourselves set up here. I just want to double check the planting calendar. Wheat is plantable. And that's really the only thing. Wheat, barley, and canola. So we're just going to get them started. Says my truck is stuck. I don't know what in the world it is even thinking of doing that. Gotta go. Have a great stream. Thank you, man, for being here. Appreciate it. Take care. We'll see you again. Oh, I also need to check the status of my other fields, too. It's possible that these are ready for harvest. Let's take a look. 22, 19, and 16. Let's see what they're at here. Yeah, 16's ready, 19's ready. Now 16 had potatoes in it. Oh, I'm gonna have to rent potato equipment. I hate that. And 19 was sorghum. So I can start harvesting 19 now. So we'll get this guy fired up. And then we'll also go get ourselves a potato harvester. So that we can take down the crop on that other field on 16. All right, this guy is going. Straw not available from sorghum. Okay, I just wanted to double check. For potato equipment, let's see here. That's the only thing we have, really? There's got to be something else here. All right, we'll just lease this one since it does everything in one go. lease for 10,000. Whew, expensive. Oh, you know what I should look at though? What kind of tractor I need for this? 200 horsepower minimum. Okay. So I want to grab this guy. I believe this tractor has enough horsepower for this. We'll take it to the shop. We'll pick up that potato unit. And we'll take everything that we harvest back to our home farm silo. At which point we will figure out distribution. It looks so nice over here now, being all open and visible, and the grass is neatly cut. I don't have to worry about all of that. This corn should be ready for harvest soon, and what I'll do is I will have to buy the biogas plant because we'll need a place to cut that corn up and store it for silage. The sooner I can get the dairy operation going, the better. So I think we're in fairly good shape here. Boy, this is a big potato unit. Wow. So this potato unit cuts the foliage off the top of the potatoes and then digs them out of the ground all in one go, so you don't need to use a separate topper and then a harvester. Because of that, obviously it's much more expensive and much larger, but it gets the job done. I suspect when we unfold this thing, it's going to look absolutely crazy. But we'll take this up to, I believe it was field 16, and we'll start dealing with potatoes. The thing about potatoes is that they produce so much crop. So even a small field of potatoes can just have a ridiculous amount of potatoes in it. So we're gonna have to be shuttling carts full of potatoes back and forth constantly. Actually, I went up the wrong road here. I need to turn in here. Of course my harvester would be right in the way. We'll jump across the railroad tracks. Pull this thing up the hill here. I don't know if this thing's got enough power to do it. Ooh, just barely. Out onto the road here. And here's our field of potatoes. Alright, so we need to unfold this thing now. Out comes the conveyor. All this stuff. So it looks like it runs offset to the tractor. So what we need to do is just get it lined up properly. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room on this field to turn, you know? But let's go at it anyway and see what happens here. Alright, it is definitely pulling out those potatoes. Why it's Going slightly off course there. The other thing I need to purchase, I'm going to purchase this now, is an RTK station. Because they increase the... Whoops. They increase the accuracy of the weather forecast, and they increase the accuracy of the helpers, apparently. Or so I've been told. I want to say that they were in the in here as well, but possibly not. So we will take this and we'll place it at our home farm, I guess. Place it right up there on top of the roof. How about that? So this guy here is nearly full, but he's only got one more pass. I suspect he'll be able to make it. At least I hope. Looks like I want to buy a mulcher to mulch before I cultivate. So we'll think about that. Excuse me. So all this sorghum I'm just going to dump directly into my silos here. Nice, rich orange-brown color. Never did check my silos to see if they already had any crop in them. That's all taken care of. Park this guy here. All right, I need to get a mulcher. Perfect. And now I need a tractor to pull it. Since I won't need the mower right now, let's drop that there. Fold this guy up. Drop him there. Go up and get the mulcher. We'll mulch that area. I wonder if it needs to be plowed, though. I should probably check on that. So 19 does not need to be plowed. 16, however, will. So I think I'm pretty good on... Oh, the beehives. I need to do the beehives. Once I do the beehives, then we can reset the bank account. So once I hook up to this mulcher, I'll have it auto drive, and then we'll do the beehives. Potato harvester is getting full. Boy, that's a really small mulcher. Holy crap. I was expecting something a little bit bigger than that. Alright. This guy is going to go here. It's nearly full. I should have one. No, I don't have one spare tractor, do I? I am out of tractors right now. Alright, well, let's not worry about that too much. Let's get our beehives put in. I want to say I put in a couple of these large ones, right? I can't remember, quite honestly. I want to say I had 2 of them. I had one over here. And I think I had one over here. I need to put a honey pallet collection location. I want to say I said it right there. Perfect. All right, so now that we've done that, I think we can reset our finances. So let's go take a look here really quick at our finances for the last couple of months. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I saved the amount that I had, which was $33,000. Okay, 33,000, and then we're going to add in all of our income from these 2 months for stuff that we've sold. So we start off with $33,000. We're going to add, for August, our income was 96,807 for wood. So we're going to add 96,807 plus another 33,075. That was for grass, I would imagine. And then we're not going to include sold vehicles because that was the crane that I was messing around with. But for wood so far, we've had 94.21 and 9996 for harvest income. So that gives us a total of $182,299. So that's what we're going to set our bank account to. And keep in mind, we also have the $500,000 loan that's costing us $555 a month in interest. So we'll go in here, we'll set our money to 182,299. Boom. There we go. We're back to where we were. Now, what this means is that we can save the game. And we've essentially gotten back to where we were, which is great. I am going to set this guy to work. And what I'm going to do, I think, is rent another tractor. Maybe I'll purchase a tractor. We'll see. So this guy's going to mulch this field, and then we're going to cultivate it. I'm wondering. What I'll do, instead of renting, I'll just drive this to my farm, offload it, and I'll keep doing that for now until we're able to free up a tractor, because I don't really want to spend that money to rent a tractor. I want to try to be frugal with my money. So if it's cheaper to just do this, then we'll just do this. Whatever reason. I hope my potatoes can go here. Hope I don't need to store them in a special building. Huh, how about that? It looks like I can't actually store them there. Not the right type of, it's not a root crop silo, unfortunately. So, let's take a look at who is buying potatoes right now. $4.65 is the best price. That's the farmer's market. Farmer's market is right there. That's not too far away, so I guess we can drive that over there and just offload it. I don't think it's gonna let me fold this unit up. No. So we'll just drive it awkwardly through the streets of Goldcrest Valley and deliver these 10,000 liters of potatoes. And that's only a couple of passes up and down the field. I've still got plenty of field left to do, so this should actually bring us in quite a bit of income. I imagine that this load here will probably net us $25,000, maybe? Maybe? That's an ambitious guess. I'm just totally spitballing. I have no idea. Because I don't know if that price is per liter. If that price is per liter, then we're looking at $500,000 here. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Alright, looks like I need to... Oh boy, this is going to be tricky. This is going to be tricky. How am I going to get in here? It's not really made for a big implement like this. It's made for a truck delivery. Getting in will be the hard part. I think getting out will be easy because I can fold this up. Oh, maybe I won't be able to fit in here. Oh boy. What am I hung up on now? Another tree? Hey. All right, we're gonna, yeah. We're gonna just drag this over a bit because that's not okay. I'm starting to get a little concerned here because it's not giving me the trigger. It's not giving me the trigger. So are you kidding me? Are you actually joking right now? Oh yeah, she's totally stuck now. Totally stuck. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It looks like I'm gonna have to purchase a Christ, these small trees, man. I'm gonna have to purchase a truck or something. How do I get rid of these potatoes? This is what I don't get. So I'm not sure here. We're gonna lease this trailer. And I'm gonna just drive this unit right up to the shop and see if I can offload directly into that trailer, and then see if I can dump the trailer into that delivery area. There's got to be a way for me to actually sell these potatoes. I don't think I've done potatoes on FS19 before. I certainly haven't done them on this map, so. And this thing is just too big to drive through small areas like that. Of course the cover's on it. Yep, crash into everything, Jay, because you're smart. Fucking idiot. It won't. Wow. So I have to bring this truck up to the trailer to connect it to open up the trailer. It's not making it easy for me today. It's not making it very easy. I don't know why everything I do has to be a struggle, but we will adapt and overcome. It's about 10 minutes to 1 right now. I just realized I hadn't been playing my soundtrack music. I apologize to anybody who's watching live that was expecting to hear music. I probably will go until 1:30 today since we started a bit late. All right. Jesus Christ, all that for... Oh, it's already offloading. There it goes, automatic. How about that? So once this is completely offloaded, then I'll bring this back to the field and have it start working. Really? Bring this back to the field and have it start working. Yep, just scrape along it. And then we'll bring this truck to that farmer's market and attempt to sell these potatoes again. If not, we'll have to try another sell point. There might be something wrong with the farmer's market one. It's too bad because that obviously has the highest price, but you know, can't win them all, I guess. Create job on 16 field work, start. Hopefully that will do what it needs to do. Let's take this back to the farmer's market. And the farmer's market, I will need to see where it is. Kind of an interesting... I feel like this trailer is not long enough for its... for what it's supposed to be here, but whatever. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to make this big wide turn here with this big long trailer. I feel like I'm gonna get stuck 100 times again. Actually, did all right with that one. There we go. There's the trigger I was hoping for. So let's see how much money we make off of this here. Just 10,000 liters of potatoes. $4,600. $46,455. What's the price for potatoes right now? $465. So Interesting. So it says $465, but it doesn't say per what unit. So it looks like it's actually paying out. It looks like that's not $465. It looks like it's actually 46 cents per liter. 46.5 cents per liter. So that's not actually, that number isn't actually entirely accurate. Because if it were $465 per liter, then I would have made $4.6 million on that load. But I only made $4,655 on that load. So it looks like that's actually 46.5 cents per liter, not $465. That's confusing. I don't quite understand why it's priced like that. I wonder if they just think no one's going to actually do the math and figure it out. So we'll bring this truck up and stage it near the potato unit again, just so it's ready to go. It looks like the potato unit never started working, even though it was instructed to. So while we're doing it, we'll just manually pick up these potatoes right here. I don't think it's actually... Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. I was going to say. Takes a second. $307 liters of potatoes just in that little tiny bit. So we'll have this unit start back to work. This guy is almost done. And he is drilling wheat. But I'll have him continue to work on planting fields. This guy is mulching. Kind of messy. So really, everyone's kind of working right now. The only thing we can do is take care of these trees real quick. We have to be careful with this tree here. Train is coming, so we have to hurry. Actually, it's clear of the tracks, so we're good there. Those logs are done. Clearing these trees helps the tractors be able to maneuver the ends of the field better. Perfect. You have one unit that's finished their work. I'm assuming that's the drill. So let's take a look here. Potatoes still working. Yep, drill's done. We'll make sure they got the whole field, didn't miss any. Looks good. Oh, we need to get a roller too. Need to get a roller. Okay. And I don't have a tractor to pull a roller. So I think I'm going to have to actually purchase a tractor. Since we have, well, that potato unit's leased, but it's going to take quite a while for that potato unit to finish, unfortunately. How I'm going to do that yet. This is a very large tree. I think there's a bush here that I forgot. So, okay, grab that. Ooh. She went all weird on me. Alright, one more tree it looks like. Looks like the potato unit's getting full again. Ooh. Alright, we'll fold this guy up. The other trees I'll worry about another time. And since I think we're done with this unit, this is on lease and I believe we can return it. Perfect. Alright. We're gonna get this guy going so that we can offload that potato unit. Keep him working. And then I need to cut stumps, do some mowing, which I don't have a tractor for right now. That was only about half of a load, so we'll just park this to the side for now. This guy's almost done. What I can do is I can drop this trailer here, go get my log trailer, put the logs on it, truck that out, and then I should be all set with the logging trailer too. I can get rid of that and lease on that unit. These are big, straight logs, so I shouldn't have too much trouble with these. Famous last words. on there just right. Having super strength is a hell of a lot easier than trying to use a crane to load these things. I think that trying to get the crane to load logs was the most frustrating part of forestry in this game. No matter what you did, the crane just did not want to hold on to the logs, and if you weren't perfect with it, it was just all kinds of trouble. Start loading on the other side here pretty soon, I think. Unless I can crash these over. Log up there is kind of too far forward, but I only have these left. Excited here. We're getting done. We're getting things done. So all I'll have to do is cut stumps and mow the grass over here once I have a tractor available. I still have a lot of work that needs to be done for fields. Oh. Ah, nuts. I saved it in one direction, couldn't save it in the other direction. Forget how top heavy these trailers are when they're full of logs. Eventually what I'll want to do is cut down all the trees on this side of the railroad tracks here. This little bunch here. And all the trees back here north of this field. These ones here. And those ones over there. Just to clear out these clearings so that I can harvest grass from those areas, but that will come with time. That's not a super high priority right now. So we're just gonna haul these bad boys up and sell them. This should bring us in 10,000, maybe? I'm hoping. There goes the train. All right. 17,000. Wow, a lot more than I thought. So now, I actually can get rid of this log trailer. Goodbye. The only piece of logging equipment that I still have is that stump cutter, and I'll still need that until I finish mowing, just to make sure I didn't forget any. this truck... Oops. If it's immovable, I will hit it. Virtually guaranteed. So this truck, I'm going to have it drive itself over to here. And then just check up on everything else here. This guy is working hard. He's about halfway done with his field. I still need to plow in that field there, but I'll do that at some point. This guy is on his last pass of mulching, which is great, because then I can quickly run the stump cutter and the mowers. And I'll eventually come through here and do these trees as well. Alright, that is excellent. That is super excellent. I'm wondering, I'll probably just wait on the stumps. Actually, no, I don't want to wait on the stumps. I want to get the stumps done. Did I lease this mulcher, or did I purchase it? Purchased it. Okay. All right. I will run the stump cutter because it's leased and I want to get rid of it. But I'm not going to mow right away. Just because that takes time. I think I'll be able to see the stumps easy enough, and if I forget any, then I forget some. Stump is taken care of. That stump is taken care of. Maybe I will need to mow over here. A little bit harder to see the stumps than I had originally thought. Somebody has completed their task. Let's check and see who... He's full. This guy, we need to empty potatoes. Alright, trying to manage multiple things at the same time. We've got a lot of things that need our attention all at once here, so we'll offload potatoes. I will wait to deliver those. I want to get the stumps ground first and move the drill to a new field if I need to. Looks like the drill is still working on that field. This guy's full. This trailer is full. So park him there for now. Try to rush through this, get this done. So I really need to free up a tractor. Just kind of zigzagging back through here. Oh, almost missed one. I'm near this bush and I need to take that bush out. It took a minute. Way. There's another one up there. And another one here. Interesting. Why in the world is this one giving me so much trouble? There we go. Good gravy. All right. I think that's everything, but I'm just going to leave this stump grinder here because I have a feeling I missed at least one in there somewhere, and until I mow all of that to find out, I'll never know. So I'm going to go get the mowers connected to this tractor, quickly mow this and rake this. And I still have to start hauling potatoes as well. So several things I need to manage all at once. We're getting close to the end of stream. This is all stuff that I'll do off stream. Phone is getting blown up. that's that. This truck needs to get offloaded. Too many things to manage right now, and that field is probably about halfway done. So we have 168,000 or 16,800 liters of potatoes in this load. This is a full trailer load. Although it definitely looks like it could hold more. We're going to deliver this to the farmer's market, who I hope still has the best price. Turn down this way, turn down this way, and then we'll turn in. Oh, of course, we had to hit an immovable object because who is it? It's TV Guy J. TV Guy J hits immovable objects for fun, it seems. Yeah, no, we're not going that way. We are going in this way. Shallower turn, less obstacles as I run into something. And it's funny because I haven't hit anything. I haven't actually hit anything. Oh, except this little fucking tree here, apparently. Oh, wow. Alright, we'll offload these potatoes. Can't wait until I'm done with potatoes. Just saying. That's $7,800. So we had a slightly larger load that time. Out. And I'm just gonna shortcut this bitch straight across. Right through the cornfield. Don't matter. I noticed we've been streaming for 2 hours and the frame rate hasn't dropped. We did forestry and we've played for over an hour and the frame rate hasn't dropped. So I'm actually kind of impressed by that. I wonder if the little trick that I did the other day actually worked. Definitely looks like it's struggling in OBS, but OBS is saying 60 frames per second, so I don't know. What happened here? Thought he might have been full, but it looks like he ran into a tree. Big surprise there. The one tree that's going to cause a problem, and my AI helper had to run into it. So now, I need to free him up. Ay, ay, ay. Here's what I'm gonna do to attempt to make this easier on my helper. Put in a one-row headland right along this angle here. course, that's barely doing anything at all because I didn't get lined up properly. Not far enough over. We might as well just offload this now. I just can't seem to ever line this up properly. Well, I'm gonna miss a whole row here, but whatever. Anyway, it is 1:33. It is time to wrap things up for today. There will not be an evening stream tonight from the studio. However, I am going to attempt to do an IRL stream tonight from our live location in and around Old Orchard Beach. So we'll see how that goes. I'll let everyone know on Twitter and Discord about what time we want to start. It's probably going to be around 8 or 8:30 Eastern. So stay tuned for that, possibly an IRL stream tonight. Again, I'll let you know on Discord and Twitter with any updates, and hopefully it will work well. We'll see. There's supposed to be fireworks tonight. But that being said, thanks for watching, everyone. We will see you all either tonight or tomorrow. Bye-bye.